Welcome back, guys, to Trails Through Daybreak, where we're on the title screen yet again because we're not here to start a new game. Last time, of course, we culminated, we finished, we concluded Chapter 4 as we stopped the creation of nuclear weapons, bringing them out of play in Zemuria, at least for now, because you never know when that might come back as a concept. Let's hope it never does. But we've, of course, Rosette recovered, a new member to Arkride Solutions having joined us, and more. We now move on to our next chapter. Let's load it up and let the story roll.
Zeroth form. Duality. Thank goodness. Looks like I'm in good form tonight. I wasn't sure I could even perfect the Zeroth form after being told to do it out of nowhere. But I think I've earned the right to hold my head up high to Master's younger disciple now. Not that I can see him joining us up on stage anytime soon.
All is ready, Princess.
In record time, too. We couldn't have asked for a bigger client, and this is the first long-term contract we've had in a while. We can afford to take it easy for our first task at least. But the time has come to reaffirm our existence to the world. Tread lightly, for the Ikaruga lurk in the shadows.
So she noticed us. I should have known we couldn't deceive the Divine Blade of Silver. This is a reconnaissance and force mission. We only need to assess their capabilities, not win the battle. Our foes are both above S rank in strength. Strike in the Blitz Halberd formation. Yeah!
I planned to depart for the east after speaking with him. How fortunate that I was able to catch a glimpse of the living legend's covert student before doing so. I cannot help but wonder what she fights for with those unusual talents of hers. But that mystery, along with what lurks here beneath the Kunlun Mountains under Calvard's stormy skies, will have to wait. Now is not the time to investigate further. Though it would be a shame to let this encounter go to waste, it might be worth pitting my own greenhorn student against her to see how he fares.
I have to admit, I never thought you would be the one asking to go out with me. We did appear at an event together. Was that all it took to spark such a passionate plea?
I'd like to believe I put more passion into my films than anyone, if nothing else. I'm sure it's the same with you and racing, And now these two passionate souls can finally have the talk I've always wanted. Even if I feel bad for your girlfriend and fans for meeting with you like this.
My partner in life is my Carl, have you know? Of course, I have been known to savor some special moments with only the most beautiful of women.
Oh, look at you, laying on the charm. So, no girlfriend? Could I take that to mean that you also don't have a wife or kids?
Of course I don't. Anyway, it would be a shame to just let the evening end with dinner now that we're together like this. What do you say to joining me for a drive on the expressway? As for whether that will be where the night ends, well, that will be up to us.
Oh. He sure is used to this. He makes even cringeworthy lines like that seem totally natural. Whatever. This is my chance to see if there's any truth to that rumor about him traveling the country. That's fine by me. I'm looking forward to seeing how fast you can...
What was...
Z1 Racer Maxim Lugan! I'm a reporter with Buzz Raider magazine. Think we could steal a few minutes of your time?
Buzz Raider? Not the gossip rag that's even worse than Meld.
I'll take that as a yes. Excellent! So, we know you've been everywhere from Tharbad and Longport to Messeldom and Crossbell in the past 3 months. You're a bit of a globetrotter in your off time, wouldn't you say? Now, it's clear you've been living up to your single status to find yourself a girl in every town. Then could it be you're on the hunt for one here in Edith now, too?
How did you... Have you been following me everywhere I go? I'll admit that I spend my nights out on the town, but that's not why I'm traveling around.
Holy cannoli!
Wait, she's got nothing to do with...
I can't believe what a scoop we have on our hands. Meld's gonna be eating our dust with this one. So, how long have the two of you been dating, Miss Judith Lanster?
It's November 9th. Time keeps on slipping. This thing's so cool. It's a mechanical wolf, right? Awesome. It looks really strong, too. He's like some kind of guardian beast from a fairy tale. He's awesome. He is. He's living with us now. Aren't you, Zeros? He could bark, too? Can we pet him? Easy, you two. Don't upset him. That Van's just a magnet for strange types, isn't he? The new lad and his animals seem like a good bunch, but still. Well, even better than good, since they've made Yume the happiest I've seen in a while. She's the cutest darn thing you ever did see. You're always like a different person when you're talking about her. And I like that Van is broadening his circle of friends and acquaintances. It's nice to see. Oh, they're back.
Market purchase is complete. 5 kilograms of mussels, 3 kilograms of shrimp, and 2 kilograms of artichokes purchased. Please confirm.
Thanks, Theo. I can tell you picked the freshest ones, too. Incredible how quickly technology has advanced. Now I sound really old. It sure has gotten lively around here compared to when Van was working by his lonesome, though. They're all growing boys and girls, too, so I want to be sure to give them all the food they need. Plus, they must be raking in on rent at this point. They had all these rooms that were empty. Now they've got, money. Ooh, the Intermission, a mysterious tale in Longlai.
So let's shift the topic toward the Geneses and Van's Grendel. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be possible to learn anything about the Geneses' nature from them directly. They appear to have some kind of protection, akin to artifacts, keeping their secrets from us. I can't fathom why they only react to Agnès either. It does feel as though the Mafia knows a fair amount about them, though.
I had a feeling you wouldn't be able to learn anything from them. Mind you, Armata is also somewhat in the dark when it comes to the Geneses. Yeah, I get the impression they don't know how they're doing what they're doing with them. They just have an idea of what they can do. They're more like disposable tools to whip out for whatever they want to do at any given point. Makes me mad that they're using them that way. There's no better way of putting it. We've taken 4 back from them so far, and that's how it seemed every time. Yeah, much as it pisses me off, they don't seem to give a damn about what happens to a Genesis after they're done with it. Worth noting here that they do seem to be pretty consistent in how they use the Genesis too. Yes, I agree. They've referred to everything they've done as an experiment. Whether it's manipulating people's vital energies, interfering with their minds, or installing a human's personality into a machine, Armata has kept using the Genesis as a trigger for various kinds of unnatural phenomena. Yeah, I think that's an important fact to bear in mind if we're going to get to the bottom of this. Fortunately, in all of the cases we've seen, the phenomenon triggered hasn't reoccurred once it's been stopped. But there is one particular phenomenon that Armata isn't behind that's happened again and again. Oh. I got ya. Van's transformation into the Grendel, correct? That's right, the ability to reproduce results for further study is a crucial factor in science and engineering. There's a lot that we don't know about the Grendel, but what we do know now is that it's comprised of exceedingly high-density shards. We also know that Van's hollow, Mare, appears when activating it, or rather a version of it that possesses free will appears. Yeah,
just tell me what you want.
Mare, incidentally, is a custom hollow developed at Marduk. Her source code is classified, but she was created using AI knowledge purchased from multiple companies. However, it goes without saying that the hollow designed by Marduk does not have free will. And that's normal. The hollows that the rest of us use also talk, but you can't have a conversation with them. When she shows up to help Van transform, she's clearly got a sense of self. It's theoretically possible she's programmed to only seem that way on the surface, but I'm inclined to agree. Same here, they need to program an obscene number of possible responses to give the illusion of free will. She doesn't even have enough space for that much code, right? That's correct, she takes up only marginally more space on your Zypher than the hollows that everyone else uses. We would need to perform a special test to be absolutely sure either way. But the Mare that possesses free will seems to be a life form comprised entirely of data. I don't think I can even wrap my head around that idea. This is sounding real shady all of a sudden. Now, if for argument's sake we assume that Mare is an AI app that's achieved free will, the trigger for that would have to be the Genesis, no? That's what I was thinking, yeah. Then again, I hate to say this in front of you, Rosette, but I can't say I fully trust anything Marduk says or does. You needn't worry about causing offense, I understand why you would feel that way. Thanks. Still, I think that even they have their limits. I can't help but wonder exactly where the material that formed her source code came from. But I can't imagine they entrusted her to Van, believing that she would exhibit so much unusual behavior. So I think the root of the cause lies in Professor Epstein's legacy rather than her. Incidentally, an AI gaining free will is one thing that would qualify as a technological singularity. Which would mean that, put another way, something happened to Mare that allowed her to evolve past that massive hurdle. Evolve? Now we're really in the goddess's territory. The testament suggests that evolution was a process intended to let we humans shape the world around us. It's also described as what's helped us bring about our latent potential. That was from the book of Shahat, verse 2, in Jokanan's letter, I think. Anyway, I think I get what you're saying. You want to have a chance to observe everything, right? Mare's appearance, the shards going berserk, in short, everything that happens from the start to me going Grendel. You want to see it all, including what role the Genesis play in it. Oh. Exactly. I think that knowledge will help me support Agnès in her quest for answers too. Might also let you call on the Grendel's power in a less haphazard and dangerous way. What do you think? Does that work for you? Sure. We got 5 Genesis so far, which leaves 3 still out there to recover. We can't be sure the Mafia has the rest, but if we get any more chances to stop them from causing any trouble, we should take them. And if I end up with a good excuse to transform in our future work, we'll give it a shot. As long as we have a Genesis on hand, we should be able to brute force whatever the other transformation conditions are. Yeah, jump in way of death. Then we just gotta grab Mare Bear when she shows up, right? That's about the short of it. I've already added the sensors necessary to observe her and record it all to Theo. This could be a little dangerous, but I think it'll be worth our while to try. Don't worry, I'll have you guys there to back me up, so I'm sure I'll be fine. Of course you will. We'll be right there with you all the way. It sounds like it could be fun. I will be there to give any technology-related support that you may need. We can't do any of this without a Genesis being there. If you're not on board, we won't go ahead with it. It's not that. I can't deny that I'm worried you might be hurt in the process. But the chances of us learning something more about the Genesis and the Grendel through this are promising. So I'll do all that I can to support you. That is settled. Alright then, let's get started on today's work. I'm gonna need a few of you to handle some other stuff, but Quatre's trial period ain't over yet, so he's coming with me.
That works for me. Though, I honestly can't imagine it would take me long to grasp exactly what you do here. But go ahead and show me exactly what being a Spriggan is all about.
I'll back you up to the best of my ability. So we get to choose one additional member to accompany Claudel, Agnès, and Van. Which, to be honest, is always going to be a bit more on the melee side of thing. But everyone here on the list actually has Employee of the Month already, so we don't need any of you. In fact, I'd rather not have any of you, just have Claudel do lots of things. The best thing about their scientific thing is they're so fixated on the Genesis as well. And it's just kind of like, you do realize there's one other factor in this that you've got to discount as well, right? In terms of the Grendel creation. It's... yes, well, this thing's special, so it must be that. Maybe? Maybe that's not the whole part of it? Anyway, before we continue onwards, I did notice, and I don't know if anyone else did, that we are actually like a second behind sound-wise. I'm not sure, like visuals to sound. Usually I have that perfectly fine with my starting routine, but it's actually not this time, so I'm just going to fix that very, very quickly. I don't think it would have been noticeable, but... that will fix it. The job done. It was a tiny bit off, but now it should be perfectly good. Or at least as good as it usually is. So I think, obviously we should break Ferry out, but also I feel a bit bad leaving Rosette in the back. Especially when Rosette's been through. Ordnance can now be customized from the main menu now that Quatre is in the party. Quatre's upgrades. Now that Quatre has become an ally, you can modify ordnance. Press R2 from Ordnance in the main menu to open the custom menu. Just like at Ordnance shops, you can now unlock slots. I mean, for free, because surely I should... oh, no, wait, you need to put the quartz in there to do it, but for free would be nice. Just unlock all our slots now. That would be amazing. I would love it. I would love it. But I usually tell because I can read the dialogue off of both screens, left and right, and I... was a little bit delayed that time. Right, let's get on our sweep, shall we? Also, as soon as we went to Longlai, I was like, we've read a story about this, and literally every factor was there. And I did... see, I can't tell if she cut the leaf in half through the middle of it, but not through the middle of it traditionally, to make two halves of one leaf, or if Zerophom duplicated leaf. It's quite of a visual effect. It was very surprising at the time. You'd have to examine the leaf to see like if it wasn't like more see-through or anything like that. Didn't look like that. Blowing them up to Aaron has got new material plus ×2. Alright, let's get sweeping as we normally do. Complete 4 SPGs is our job today.
Indeed.
And assuming to the chapter start, we're going to meet a lot of characters, a lot of stuff's going on. And apart from that, they even did the eye tail down to the bottom left about the lie for Maxime too. I think we get maybe what your story is about a little bit more now. Let's start our sweep with Eddie. Not like I can go home anyway, unless I want to deal with her. But I ain't got anything left of me. What am I supposed to do? Just go home? You, can you just leave me alone, you pricks? He really could stand to be more honest with himself. Hey, word of advice, don't touch my car if you want to keep your kneecaps. Well, shut the garage then. Helios alive. You're glaring at him like you just kicked a puppy. I mean, I gave away 10 million Mira for that guy. And he's still kind of like dating a bank heiress, so what's his problem? Go make out with your mum and stop being a dick. I'm thinking of the right guy, right? I managed to get some time off. Shocking, I know. I've racked up a lot of overtime lately, so I had some leverage. They're going to use Jess's song as the opening for the EGC this year. That about sets it in stone. He's the next big star of the music world. He's my little brother's best friend. He's stoic, he's reclusive, he's a bit awkward, but he has an incredible talent for music. I almost see him as more than a friend, like something bigger. But I've been bottling up my feelings for him for so long, my heart is aching. Is it just not meant to be? Jess is really rising up the ranks. I'm really happy for him, but I'm down here and my feelings for him are only getting stronger. Would he leave me behind? I've been bottling up my feelings for him for so long. My heart is aching. Is it just not meant to be? I don't know. Can you accept position of sister-in-law? I'm rooting for the other way around.
Say, why not take some flowers with you?
Or just incredibly good friend would be fine too. Jess has his first big gig at the end of the year, and then his new album comes out right after. So he's asked me to draw the cover jacket. But I don't know if I can pull it off. His music is some really emotional, profound stuff. No, bad thoughts. I could do this. If anyone knows Jess and his style, this is childhood buddy.
Say, why not take some flowers with you?
I don't know if I want to take some flowers with me. I want to definitely
I see you again.
Get new purchases on the thing. Maybe I should read the paper as my first act of the day. Goodness, who could have imagined he'd find himself with Judith? As a fan of both, I'm rather conflicted. Judith has this charismatic aura about her, and then Maxim is just a total charmer. But together, I just don't see it myself. It seems the rumors are making the rounds already. Will it be in the normal paper too, I wonder? Let's go find out. Church people walking around. Suspicious. Speak up, Missy. You want me to teach? Was that it? Yes, please. I'm looking for a guest teacher for their history lessons, and I think you'd make a wonderful lecturer. All the other elders in the neighborhood directed me to you. They said you would be the best for the job. Those backstabbing little... Look, I ain't some show pony who can parade around and keep kids busy. Leave me alone, damn it. What? No, that's not what I meant. I mean, what's the harm anyway? What's the harm? What's the harm? Ask my privacy. They seem quite animated today. Just ignore them. We don't need to hit up Gin's shop right now anyway. No, we do. Newspaper. If you ever need guidance or anything at all, then please reach out to me. I'll help as best as I can.
Okay. These are the most recent reports.
Why don't you do something about it, Van? Oh, have a heart, Grandma. Just tell them some stories from back in the day or something. You like watching me suffer, don't you? You keep laughing and I ain't selling you candy no more. I can't help but feel like they secretly don't mind each other. Vitriol is a funny thing.
Indeed.
Quit dawdling and buy something.
New candy, dark grape. And a new paper too.
Stay out of trouble now.
I will, Gin. Right, let's go read my paper in my usual back alley slot. Yes. Oh, we got a new reward from that. 6 papers collected. Guess I should go have my bath for that reward as well, you know what I mean? Every reward that I can get. Tyrell Times, issue 6. It's 12 pages. Society, explosive spread of terrorism in Basel. University professor found dead. The full picture of the destructive outcome of the large-scale simultaneous terror attack, on Basel and Ankerville, which occurred on October 24th, was becoming clearer and clearer since the presidential executive order was lifted. As soon as the order was lifted, the Verne Company and Basel authorities released statements regarding the damage and the road to recovery. According to their reports, infrastructure installations such as the generators and communication networks damaged in the attacks are more or less back up and running. However, several factories hit by the attacks have not yet been able to resume operation. Perhaps most shocking was the announcement of the death of David Callahan, professor of engineering science at the Basel Institute of Science. He was known for making great contributions to the development of weaponry for the Republican Army under the previous administration, and many government officials were unable to hide their shock at his death. It was easy to see the influence Professor Callahan had during his life from the large number of officials from the previous presidential administration and Republican Party who attended his funeral services. Senator Polanski of the Republican Party said of him, he took a different approach to things than Professor Hamilton in his contributions to the technological advancement of the Republic, and those contributions have formed the very basis for our country's modern heavy industries. Professor Callahan's body was found on the outskirts of town, and the cause of death given was drowning. Because what happened was way out there after all, you can't really report that. Making some speculate that he was targeted personally for a cause unrelated to the terrorist attacks. That's kind of true. One must wonder if his research, which we will discuss later in the article, was the reason he was targeted. We can only hope that the authorities uncover the truth and release a full statement quickly. Before his death, Professor Callahan was researching a revolutionary new method for energy extraction. Parts of his project are now being carried on by Professor Jan Cronkite, one of Professor Callahan's colleagues at the Institute, as well as Professor Latoya Hamilton, who is temporarily back in the country. It appears that stock prices for the Verne Company, which had fallen temporarily due to the terrorist attack, have begun to rise again thanks to the progress on this research. Some believe this special research may have caused Professor Callahan to be caught up in this incident. However, the authorities and Institute have said nothing about any possible link. Anchorville, which was hit at the same time as Basel, with terrorist bombings and arson, saw immense damage to its transit and logistics infrastructure. Repair efforts are still ongoing. Government officials are speculating that the Anchorville attack was merely a distraction to draw eyes away from the main attack in Basel. Incidentally, the Eaton News Network, a local Anchorville media company, was also hit by arson during the attack, and several of their reporters were seriously injured. Despite being damaged as part of the attack, the Eaton News Network was the first outlet to report on it, garnering praise from many who were impressed by the dedication of their reporters. We here at the Tyrol Times have the utmost respect for their dedication as fellow news media presenters, and we pray for their swift recovery. Special! An interview with Professor Hamilton, currently visiting Calvard. We're here with Professor Latoya Hamilton, known as the mother of the oral revolution in the Republic. It has been 3 long years since Professor Hamilton was last in Calvard, due to her involvement in on-site surveys of the environmental phenomena plaguing the eastern part of the continent. The Tyrol Times was able to arrange for a quick interview while she was here. We hope to get her unique perspective on current technological developments, as well as her outlook for the future. Question: what do you think about the rapid technological development we have been seeing in the last few years? Latoya Hamilton: we've seen extremely rapid progress, especially in the field of information technology. Compared to back when I was an advisor at the Verne Company, I believe information and computing technology will be especially beneficial to our lives and could aid with things such as the development of remote locations. On the other hand, at the speed we are developing, I think at some point technology will begin to control us rather than the other way around. To safely sustain rapid growth like this, we have to ensure that we truly understand the new technology and are keeping it under our control. One could say it's dangerous to base our thinking about new technological developments on their pace alone. Question: how do you think orbital technology will evolve in the future? Looking at current trends, I think we'll see more automation of machinery, but the development that will change the world would be the creation of a global-scale orbital network. At the moment, orbital networks are concentrated mainly in major developed cities. However, we're seeing more and more cities being added to the network, and connected cities are actively communicating with each other. In theory, if we were able to set up a network of relay airships and create an international standard for orbital waves, we could see a future where we could connect to the orbital network from anywhere at any time. If we can do that, people from all over the world, including those who have been excluded from the current advances in technology, will be able to enjoy all the benefits of our information age equally. Of course, while we look forward to this future, we can't forget that this will also bring the risks inherent in new technologies to a global scale. Question: what have you found regarding the environmental issues in the eastern part of the continent? Well, first of all, it's an ongoing investigation, but if everything goes according to plan, I'll be returning there sometime this year. Though the root cause is still unclear, the desertification of the eastern part of the continent is due to the septium veins in the area drying up. We need to keep in mind that it's completely different from natural environmental formations like the deserts of the Central East. We also can't forget that there are still people and various cultures living in the East. It pains my heart that they are living their lives in fear, witnessing the desertification claim more and more of their land. We need to throw all the wisdom and technology we have at this problem, to protect the future of not only those in the East, but the people of the West as well. Question: what do you see in the future for the Institute of Science and Verne Company? I think at the moment many of us are overwhelmed with sorrow at the sudden passing of Professor Callahan. I am quite distraught that I was out of the country and unable to respond in time to this incident. However, seeing how fast the professors and students are getting back on their feet after this loss has made me realize everyone has grown stronger since I was last there. I will, of course, be making myself available while I'm here for a consultation to aid in the recovery efforts. I believe that going forward, if we band together and cultivate our wisdom and personal convictions, we will be able to overcome any hurdle that faces us. And with that, this concludes our interview with Professor Latoya Hamilton. Entertainment. Lexel Talent Agency voices protest. The Lexel Talent Agency, home of famed actress, yes, Judith Lanster, issued a strong statement of protest against the gossip magazine BuzzRaider, including language indicating that they were considering a lawsuit. The cause of this protest was a scandalous article in BuzzRaider regarding Judith Lanster and famous Z1 racer Maxime Red Comet Lugan. In response, Lexel clearly denied any relationship between Miss Lanster and Mr. Lugan, issuing the aforementioned statement of protest and inviting a meeting between the two companies' legal counsels. BuzzRaider has made countless headlines with flagrant disregard for the privacy of celebrities, acting as the worst kind of paparazzi and publishing unsubstantiated claims in their sensationalist articles. However, it appears this time BuzzRaider has woken the proverbial lion by crossing the Lexel Talent Agency. Lexel has powerful connections all across the movie and fashion industries and could be said to be on a completely different level from BuzzRaider. Seems this time the gossip magazine has finally bitten off more than they can chew. Economy. Financial gurus speak to young investors. Though he is known as the financial guru for running one of the top 5 financial institutions in Lemuria and showing consistent results from year to year, CEO Walter Huckberry seems content to live out a simple life in Edith's old town, where he was born and raised. Residents there are quite fond of his haughty attitude. Recently, he has been sounding the alarm for the rising generation of young investors, warning them of the dangers they face using his tried and true Huckberry philosophy. This self-made philosophy is one of solid, steady growth, so he has seen some danger in the way certain young investors, spurred on by the current unprecedented financial boom, are throwing their money haphazardly at any new and attractive venture. Through the years, he has taken the time to investigate his ventures, investing in those that may not have had the biggest dividends in the short term, but have had solid prospects that paid off in the long run. The success of his company is proof of the proverb, slow and steady wins the race. Mr. Huckberry describes young investors who gamble on every venture they see as being swept along by the current while missing their chance to climb up on the shore. He added that investors need to be able to read the flow of the economy and use it as a guideline rather than allowing it to swallow them up. Exactly the kind of advice the financial world has come to expect from its wise sage. It is clear the boom of new industries and financial growth in Calvard is going to continue, so young investors would be wise to keep the guru's advice tucked away in their hearts. Just who knows what new paths it may reveal to you. This is too real, feels bad, yeah? Advertisement. Grand opening Western Department Store's Rooftop Terrace. A brand new way to relax has been unveiled at Edith's Western Department Store. After a large-scale renovation, we're pleased to announce that our massive rooftop space has now been converted into a relaxing park where shoppers can enjoy a majestic view and refreshing rooftop breeze. Want to get off your feet for a bit in the middle of your shopping? Why not relax while watching the hustle and bustle of the street below? The terrace also includes a restaurant, the perfect place to refresh yourself and enjoy a quick bite to eat. We also have plans to set up a small stage area on the wide rooftop where visitors can enjoy performances by entertainers and musicians. And that's just one of our many plans for the rooftop space. Everyone should keep their eyes on it to see what's coming up. Next time you're at Western Department Store, make sure to swing by our new rooftop space. That was a big paper, wasn't it? Lots to read, lots of news, and now we know the roof's open. It's finally open at last.